Now that you've added team members to your core team add-on, it's time to look at lead routing and managing those rules. And you can access this information either by going to your team profile on your dashboard or clicking on your email at top right, clicking on Teams, and then clicking on the team of which you want to create some rules. And you can see it looped me right back around to where I was, or I can click Manage Rules. Now, within this, we have the ability to actually set up customized routing situations. And it's key to look at the top right of your dashboard where this drop down is that is associated with View As. If you are an admin within the entire company, office, team, you're going to have different aspects of information to view. Now, because I want to edit a team routing within the IRA team, I can choose that. So it's really important you make sure you are choosing the viewpoint and information of which you want to affect. Now I'm in the IRE team rules, and I can see there are currently two team lead routings set up. One is for a direct source of the website, and one is default, and they are both round robin. The first one has one member in it, and the second one has all agents. Now, before we jump into creating another rule, I do want to make sure you are aware of this secondary section that says bypass the listing agent. When this is toggled off, by default, if a new lead enters KV Core from a listing, that lead will automatically be assigned to the listing agent for that specific listing. Now, if you enact this by toggling it to the right and turning it blue from gray, this is going to be selecting bypass listing agent, which equates you're choosing to assign all new leads to agents within your office or team, regardless of whether the listing agent exists elsewhere in the company. Now, let's speak to creating a new rule. And again, remember, we're viewing it as the team entity. So make sure your viewpoint is correctly chosen here. So I'm going to click New Rule, and we'll start by setting up a rule. Now, there's a few keys of places of information you're going to need to add some information. And we need to think about what are we creating a rule for? What is it triggering? Where is it going? What is it tied into? So let's say in specific, I want to create a rule for homes in Warwick from 300K to 600K. I can actually set that up. Now, once I've named it, I can then start setting my lead criteria. So I can actually specify a source of which this lead is landing. So if this is a lead coming in via the open house, Facebook, Google, email, perhaps direct website, etc., I can say whenever a lead lands from the direct website with the criteria I'm going to set up within this rule name, it can be routed to these people specifically. Now, I can also specify a hashtag. So if a lead lands with the two parameters of a direct website and a hashtag attached, something else can trigger as well. And I would just choose the hashtag on my dropdown, or if I accidentally chose it and want to ditch it, I can just click the X to the right of the hashtag to remove it. Next, I'm going to choose the lead type. Is this for buyers, sellers, renters? You absolutely must specify one of these lead types. And then within, if you're going to dedicate this to a buyer lead routing, you can specify buyer search criteria. So you can get a little more nitty-gritty detail. Within, you can specify the property type. Perhaps we want to choose condos, single family, townhouses. Maybe we accidentally hit mobile home or commercial. We don't want it. It's the same idea as deleting the hashtag. Just click the little X to the right of the word. You can also specify area or areas. So as I indicated above, I'm pulling for the area of Warwick. So I would just type that in and choose accordingly. Now, if I went through and I accidentally chose Warwick Middle School, I can actually click the X to remove it. I can also go as far as actually assigning the MLS service of which is connected. And finally, I can put in my min and max prices. and then I save my criteria. Now, if we look over here to the right, you can see as we're adding in names, distribution rules, configuration, etc., the rule summary is actively updating as we add information. Next, we're going to get into distribution configuration. Say that fast 3 times. So what we can do is either set this up to go out round robin, which means it's going to cycle through the agents of which you include in the lead rotation, or you can choose to blast the lead out. And blast is what I lovingly call the Thunderdome scenario because it creates a highly competitive environment. When the lead is blasted, it's going to be sent to the people of which you've put into that lead rotation routing, and it's going to contact them all at the same time. And the first agent to accept the lead is awarded the lead. However, they must accept the lead in order to be rewarded the lead. So it's highly competitive. First one to answer it and accept it gets it. Now, you can actually determine how you want to distribute this information. Currently, we can see it's set up for text and email. And we can actually go over here to the right and confirm that text and email is chosen for our distribution. I can also click on phone and add it to my distribution. So I'm going to be sending the agents that heads up via phone, text, and email. And hopefully they have push notifications set up on their app so they get an immediate push notification when they have a lead as well. Now, the nice thing about this is you can actually set up some safeties. So if a lead is not accepted after X amount of minutes, you can have it land with a default dashboard. So at least it lands somewhere for the lead to be worked. So now if we look to this right-hand side, we can see we got our rule name, our distribution in place, a blast, but we don't have any agents in here yet. So now we need to move up to the top right and add agents into this rule. And from here, we can either add them by 1 or 2, or we can say add all from team. Now, if I choose this, it's going to remove John Robinson and add everyone within the team to the list. Next, I can choose if I want a lender to be added to the step of the process for routing. So when that new lead lands, do we want to include a lender at this point or have it added at a later time? I can actually choose from my lenders here and drop it in, or I can leave one without. Now, when we look at the summary, we can see it has the rule name, our timeout agent, acceptance is on to make sure it lands somewhere if no one accepts the lead. We can see the MLS of which is connected, the property types, the location, the buyer type, or the lead type is buyer, and so forth. Now, when we have given this the once over a couple of times to make sure we're accurate, and of course you can always edit this in the future, just click Add Rule at the bottom right. The page will update and land that new rule on your dashboard. So now we can see we have a rule for Homes in Warwick from 300 to 600K, direct website lead, the parameters within, what type of a routing is it? It's a blast. It holds 6 members, and we can actually edit this anytime if we need to. I hope you have a great day.